Hey. Have you ever been greeted like that before? That is some very poor communication skills. My meta-communication speech is about communication between an early childhood teacher and a parent. My target audience would be more than likely teachers. The communication between teachers and a parent is very important because children are little at the daycare centers and they can't necessarily relay information about their day to their parents. And when this communication foundation is solid, it builds trust between not only the parent and the teacher, but also the child. Communication is a great way to build positive relationship between a teacher and a parent, and it is essential for cultivating success for the child who attends the center. The three main points that I will be following today are interpersonal communication at drop-off and at pickup time, and non-physical communication. First of all, at drop-off and arrival time, this can happen in the morning or the afternoons. We have children coming at all different times. Make sure the nonverbal communication you use is positive. Be ready, physically available and there and standing up and being ready to take their child. Give the parent and the child eye contact, and make sure you have a smile on your face. Nobody likes a crabby teacher. The verbal communication skills, make sure you acknowledge the child and the parent by name. Make sure you say hi and be respectful. Listen and make sure your tone of voice is a nice tone of voice and not harsh. Questions to ask. Ask them about their night. Ask the parent or ask the child. You can ask the parent if their child has been sick. Some of these answers will depend on what age the child is. My infants cannot talk, so therefore I have to get the information from the parents. Also, ask any other questions that might be relevant to the day. And make sure you stay with the child until that parent leaves, so that the last thing they see is a teacher interacting with their child. Pickup and departure time. The same skills are going to be applied. This also happens in the morning and the afternoon. And if somebody different is picking up, then we also need a pickup card and information about that. Nonverbal skills or communication. Make sure when the parent comes in, they see you either holding the child or you're near the child. Make sure you give them that eye contact, the child and the parent, just to make sure that they know that you're there. Smile. Don't forget the smiles. Verbal communication. First of all, sometimes you need to be quiet and just let the parent observe them in their environment with their peers. And when the parent is ready to be acknowledged, then you say hello. And then ask them a question. Ask them a question about their day. Also, tell them about their child's day. Give them one example of something that they loved to do that day, or someone they played with, or an activity you did with them. Also, how well they ate, or how they did with potty training. Also, remind them to check the kid reports. This is a digital daily report that is entered in on our Kindles in our classrooms. The third main idea is non-physical communication. So this would be like mass communication. Mass communication being you want to send a message to the whole class or the whole daycare center. You can do this through emails, newsletters, websites, and all different ways to connect and communicate with your parents. Also, dyadic communication. It's usually person to person, but this is a different way to do it other than talking to each other physically. You can talk to them on the phone. You can talk to the parents on the daily information app and make sure that they do look at it. You can also text them messages, either on Messenger on Facebook or give them your cell phone number. Some of the issues that frustrated some of the teachers, I polled some teachers and asked them different questions, and some frustrations came up from the Facebook page Daycare Provider Support Spill the Beans and Here We Grow Child Care Center, and that's where I work. There was people from Canada, Florida, Ontario, and Sheboygan on this website, or Facebook page, rather. And some of the issues that frustrate the teachers were like when the parent is on the phone, when they pick up their child, and then it's hard to communicate with their parent. Parent does not acknowledge the teacher or tell them things like if something happened at home. Parent does not look at the app or the daily slip to know whether they need supplies. Sometimes parents throw away projects at the center and then we see them in the garbage. There are certainly ways to solve these problems. Communicate. In conclusion, the interpersonal communication at drop-off, pickup time, and departure time are pretty important. Make sure that you have good nonverbal skills, great verbal skills, and if you cannot be physically with parents, make sure you find a way to communicate with them through the digital world. Find the best way to communicate. Each parent might be different. Communication is a positive way to build a positive relationship between a teacher and a parent. It is essential for cultivating success for the child who is at the center. And remember, it's all about the child.